Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm sure you can guess what we're going to be talking about. It's Netflix's Dark Crystal Age of Resistance prequel series. We're going to be doing a review of it, so non-spoilers to start. I'll give you a big warning, and then we'll go into spoilers. I absolutely loved this series. It is 10 episodes long, each episode about an hour, and it is the prequel tale to a beloved movie in my eyes. A really, really beloved movie. Genuinely. Dark Crystal is one of my all-time favourites, and I had wondered how they were going to approach it, but it's by the Jim Henson Company. It is by his daughter, and all the kind of naysayers out there, it's really important to note that this was done by his daughter, and Jim Henson considered this to be some of his best work. I think it's gone on record that he thought this was his best work. So the fact that his daughter was working on it does kind of add some kind of thought behind it. You can go, yeah, okay, this is in good hands. And it really, really was. And I was a little bit concerned how they were going to approach it, because the movie doesn't really leave much to the imagination for everyone's fate, the original movie. And I did wonder whether there would be any point to this at all, or what they would do. And inevitably we live in a world now, especially with Netflix, where people say, oh, they're going to woke it up and all of this kind of stuff. They don't do anything like that. This is a very, very good series. It's a fairy tale for a modern age. It is a absolute masterclass in puppetry work. Not only puppetry work, but in blending that puppetry work with CG. Because the CG work in this is awesome. And I did not think I would be saying that. But the CG in this, that just accents the puppetry, which is obviously what the Henson Company is so renowned for, is staggering. It's a very, very accomplished blend of the two. Genuinely is. Now, from a story perspective, there's not too much to reveal in terms of non-spoilers. If you've seen the movie itself, you know the ultimate fate of everyone. This is telling a story set very, very much far back in Thra's history. And it's set way before the Garthim War, which I thought would be the case because it's the Age of Resistance. So it's a resistance is building. So the thought process is that it's set before an all-out war. It's just as things start to rise, the Skeksis start to reveal them, their true selves and things like this. The cinematography on this has to be mentioned. The cinematography is really, really good. It's better than most big-budget movies. The fact that a cinematographer can come to this series and make me fully immersed with such awesome framing, very, very clever scenes, transitions between scenes, very, very smart grading, lighting, just everything is nothing short of amazing. It really, really is. The set design on this series is, again, it's fully immersive. I believe I am in that world of Thra as I was watching this. And I gave myself a couple days to watch this, but I ended up enjoying it so much that I watched it in about a total of, 14 hours, I believe it was. It wasn't very long, but I really, really, really enjoyed it. And those that are thinking that, 10 episodes at an hour each, is there going to be much room for a series to kind of grow? Is it going to be drawn out? How's the pacing going to be done? Each episode is like a mini movie. And the story that they're telling is absolutely engaging. And again, I repeat, those people that have seen the original movie, I hope all of you have, you would know the ultimate fate of everyone in this. So you might have been like me, where you question what really can they do with this series. But there's an awful lot they can do. Again, a lot of this is actually very true to the lore of the world. And again, those that know anything about the Dark Crystal, I'm a little bit of a Dark Crystal nerd. There was comics about this, and Jim Henson established an entire universe, an entire history, and they stay very, very true to it. But I will say, in the first 5 minutes of this series, there's a few comments made by the narrator, which does lead you to believe maybe they are changing the lore ever so slightly, but they don't. They really, really don't. In fact, they stay as close to the lore as I possibly know, and I have done some lore videos on it. So this is a masterclass in how filmmaking in general should be handled. The music alone was just amazing. I can't stress this enough, that this is a masterpiece. This is a genuine masterpiece. You must watch this series. By a few days' time. You have to watch this series. And I really hope that Netflix sees a massive spike in people watching this and they make a second series. So everyone voice acting is great, by the way. Taron Egerton is the lead. He is Ryan. He was really, really good. Very, 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 very good. Everyone in it was great. So that's all I can really say in terms of non-spoilers. Cinematography's fantastic. The sound and the sound mixing mixed with the soundtrack is, again, it's a work of art. And it reminds me of, say, the original Star Wars movies, for instance. And I know this is probably going to be a really out there comparison, but I firmly do believe it. It's so immersive. It is a modern day fairy tale, and it is thanks to everything which I've mentioned: cinematography, sound design, great story, great script, and just an awesome soundtrack. It just all amalgamates into this fantastic viewing experience that I really can't stress enough is awesome. You must watch it. So that is non-spoilers, okay? Non-spoilers. We're going to get into spoilers now. You've been warned. So this is your spoiler warning. So let's get into it, right? We are telling a story of how the prophecy, the ultimate prophecy that we pick up from in the Dark Crystal comes to be. So we have a tale of all of the tribes of Gelfling and how they start to discover the Skeksis' darkness. It's called the Darkening. So their leeching off of the Dark Crystal causes an infection in the land of Thra. Thra becomes blighted, becomes poisoned, and it just sifts through into everything. Now, this is the story of the Skeksis trying to gain immortality, trying to live, and how they discover that the Gelfling essence can extend their life, which is obviously, again, firmly what we pick up with in the original movie. And there are some moments during this in terms of, because a lot of people will, I have to touch on it because this is what we have to talk about in this day and age, but a lot of people would say, is there any overt agenda? There's nothing like that at all. There is no agenda in this. There is no agenda. And a lot of people will probably tout the Skeksis as being dictators and things like this, but they always were, way back when we had the original movie come out. So nothing's changed here. This is very, very true to the first movie. And like I say, everyone as voice actors in this is highly believable, which is a testament, because a lot of these people, they've not done voice acting, as far as I'm aware. For the most part, a lot of people haven't. But they all put off a stellar job. The puppetry work in this is just, it really puts Jim Henson's company, the Henson Company, on the map just that bit more. And there's a lot of adult themes running through this movie as well, which I think is important, because it's going to be the adults that watch this as a kid that are watching it now and introducing it to their children. This really is a series that is for the family. It's for everyone. There are very adult themes running through this that children probably wouldn't pick up on at all. And there's a lot of stuff which children can pick up on, learn from. Some good messages in there. Nothing bad at all. Really, really good. And the expansion to the mythos, little bits of the creatures here and there, and additional Skeksis. There's new Skeksis. Awesome. Very, 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 very good. It's a story of coming of age, finding your place in the world, and slowly moving forward, building this resistance and everyone just coming together. That's what it is all about. It's about basically the different races of the Gelfling coming together and sorting themselves out. But I can't get over how good this series was. It is a must-watch for anyone. Anyone that is a fan of the original, anyone that just enjoys good cinema, this is good cinema. And I really hope everyone supports this, and I really hope we get a second season, because there can be, because this just established the uprising. That's all this series establishes. It doesn't go into the actual Age of Resistance. It's the beginning of the Age of Resistance. And that's really smart, and it's in keeping with the lore. Because what comes next is the Galthin War, which is those big hulking beetle things that were in the first movie. We see them get created at the end of the series. This series isn't about the Shard of the Dark Crystal or nothing like that. It's, again, something which is found at the end of the movie. So I really hope we get a second, at the end of this season, I really hope we get a second season, because I want to see how the prophecy came around, and I want to see what happened to all the Gelflings in the end. Very believable, very, very enjoyable, an absolute must watch. If you have Netflix, you should watch it. If you haven't got Netflix, you should get Netflix and you should watch this immediately. Genuinely, you should. It's well worth it. It's the best thing on Netflix right now. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have watched it. Please do let me know down below in the comments. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Did you love it? Because I personally absolutely loved this. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe, and to stay up to date on the world of pop culture, movie news, movie reviews, and reviews such as this, then you can turn the bell notifications on. If you enjoy what I'm doing here on the channel, smash like, subscribe, also support over on Patreon. There's a link down below in the description. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Mr. H. Take care.